it'll hold it. What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the all-new 2023 BMW M2 and see what this car has to offer. This one is finished in Toronto red. MSRP is about $65,000. So let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what is powering the new M2. So underneath the hood, this is going to have the twin turbocharged inline 6-cylinder motor, 3 liters, pumping out 453 horsepower with 406 pound-feet of torque. And this one's paired to a 6-speed manual transmission and of course a limited slip rear differential. This can do 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds for the manual, closer to 3.8 in the automatic, and with the top speed limiter removed, about 177 miles per hour. If we take a look at the styling, it's a lot more boxy than the previous years. I think it looks awesome, looks super cool. Got these blacked out headlights with all LED, and then a really nice design fading down towards the ground. You can see a very square shape opening, huge opening for more cooling to the radiators, all gloss black trim and one of the parking sensors. And then we get more openings in the center for all the radiators. You can see the gloss black, the parking sensors, and you even get brake ducts. I really like the new grille, just how clean it looks with just gloss black and the M2 badge. So overall, it's a little bit more boxy, a little bit more modern looking than the previous generation's M2, but I think it just comes together so cool. The hood has some really nice lines as well. You can see a sharp one around it, just giving it kind of a higher appearance to give it more aggression. And then towards the side, we get staggered wheels. 19s up front, 20s in the back, and they're a pretty cool multi-spoke design with a 2-tone color. You can see the drill and ventilated disc brakes with a massive 6-piston brake caliper. And then the front fender has a really cool design. It kind of bulges outward to give it somewhat of a wide body look. I think these really look super cool. And then we have a really sharp line for the entire side profile and a huge look for the side skirts. There's also body colored on the mirror caps with an LED turn signal and then flush mount side door handles. The rear fender also bulges out quite a lot just to give it that wide body appearance. And you can see all the gloss black trim for the windows. And then you can also see the sunroof up on top with a shark fin antenna. And I like the overall side profile. These things are short and stubby. They look really compact and overall just have a really good look. You can see just how wide the fenders are and a lot of square shapes all for the rear bumper. You even get these new 3-dimensional look for the taillights. You can see the black and the red, and then a huge area protruding outwards on this rear end. You get a parking sensor, some more trim, and then a huge gloss black diffuser with quad exhaust tips. Get that M2 badge, of course the BMW logo in that cool anniversary design, small lip spoiler. I think it really comes together. I'm a big fan of these. I think this boxy design just makes it look super unique. You have the key fob, you can hold down the button to pop the trunk. There's also is one on the back here under the logo. And we get a pretty large trunk in here. It's a pretty useful car. You can see all the space you're gonna get. Definitely can't complain. And then up here you even have handles you can pull, and that's gonna pop these seats. And from back here you can actually reach in and just get these out of the way. Of course the seats are in the way right now, but it kind of opens up the space. So with that said, if we go into the vehicle now, you can grab the back of these seats, fold this forward, and it's gonna automatically slide out of the way. But you get quite a lot of storage space in here. These fold down nearly flat to make this a pretty useful car. If I go ahead and put them back up, I also like how they open in 3 sections. So you can actually grab the center one and pull this one down independently, which is a really good touch. Headrests also are movable if you need to get better visibility. And then you even get some cargo down below and climate vents and controls. And then you can see the nice stitching with the seat belts in that same color. And then if I go ahead and hop in the back now, at 5'11", I actually sit back here pretty well. Even with the driver's seat set at my height, it's gonna automatically slide back, and I still have plenty of knee room, and it's actually a pretty usable car. Good headroom, I just barely touch, but definitely a pretty practical 2-door car. Then we can open that up, and I can easily climb right out. This interior does have an optional color. The standard car just will have the black with blue stitching, but we get the nice upgrade, which doesn't cost anything, for those cool M colors. We get a black interior with some soft touch plastics, nice vinyl material here, and then you get your M colors and grab handle, release handle, lock and unlock, and memory seating, and then your window controls. quite a lot of storage as well. And then you get all sorts of power controls on the seat, even adjustable lumbar as well as side bolsters. And then we have a leg rest. You can see the smooth black leather and white stitching, and a really cool design all the way up. Get M2 on the headrest as well, and you can even option for a $9,000 carbon fiber bucket seats. Then you can see a carbon fiber look on the steering wheel with your BMW logo right in the center. And then going ahead and hopping in now, it's a pretty nice place to be. Foot on the clutch, and go ahead and fire it up. You get that new curved LCD display, really good look to it. And then the screen right in the center, you can configure it a little bit by just tapping this icon. And you can scroll up and down, view a few different things. You can see your lap timer. You can also continue going down, see data, route overview, your map, some setup information as well, engine. So pretty nice to see quite a few different things in here. The BC icon still cycles through just a few different items. And then we have the M mode that you can toggle. And if you hit sport, it gets a pretty cool performance looking gauge cluster. You can still go through everything on this left side though, which is pretty nice to see. And then along the steering wheel, you have your M1 and M2, which are programmable buttons. And you can see if I tap it, it goes into all the performance modes just like that. We get some Bluetooth and audio controls, cruise control on the left, carbon fiber and the M colors. And of course the stock on the right side for windshield wipers, turn signals on the left. And then there's all your headlight controls on this left side. This does get a heads-up display system, and when you're in all the performance modes, get a huge tack up there as well. Some plastic material and more of this really nice carbon fiber and all that silver trim. And then this screen, you can just swipe left and right, and a lot of things come up. It's pretty easy to go through, doesn't really take all too much time, and there's a lot of information. You have this icon as well for all sorts of different apps, different controls and settings you're able to adjust. Back to your home screen, navigation and phone integration. And then going into reverse, you're gonna see that backup camera pop up with all of your parking sensors. And then I really like on all the screens, you're gonna see climate controls right in the center. So just tapping that icon, you can see them pop up for more controls, heated seats, your zones and fan speed, and the temperatures are always gonna be down at the bottom. Underneath that, you can see more of the silver, the air vents, you get volume controls, defrost, and then more carbon fiber and some storage down below with cup holders and some plugs. So I just love the carbon fiber package that's in this car. Nice 6-speed manual with all your shift pattern, some more of this blue stitching, and then more controls, parking sensors and engine start, that M mode, and then the setup button. You can configure a few more things within the vehicle. We also have a toggle for your exhaust. And then the rotary dial on the right side has all your different shortcuts to control the screen if you just want to do it without using touchscreen. So pretty easy, once again, just to go through everything. You can see your armrest back here. Then opening that up, we got quite a lot of storage space. Glove box on the right side has a good amount of space in here, and there's just a little bit of ambient lighting under here. And then we get a sunroof up on top. Has a nice black sunshade. All your controls are up in front of that. Black for the headliner. Then we get LED dome lights and your mirror. So with that said, let's take the new M2 for a spin. So setting off now in the M2. We are in the M2 mode, and we got all the performance stuff on, and we have traction control in the sport traction. This is a really fun car. As far as the fun factor goes, the engine really carries the weight nicely. It is a good place to be, and it's just a fun car. The manual, there's a little bit of that rubbery feeling to it, so it kind of just feels like a BMW manual, which is what we'd expect. However, as far as the fun factor when you're hitting the turns, this thing handles so well. It's easy to shift, good enough feedback from the clutch pedal, but the brakes are really, really good, and the steering is fantastic, especially knowing that it's such a practical car. But when you hit a hard turn, I mean, it is just so effortless. Just going through these turns like nothing. And I like the gear ratio. You can really just kind of leave it into gear. So with everything in the fun mode, let's do a quick launch control. This thing launches pretty good. Got to be in all the correct modes. Clutch in, first gear. It'll hold it. And 60. So easy to hit 60 just like that, super quick. So I like how it actually has a good launch control. I've been in some manuals where it's just really awful, but this thing does a good job. It carries the weight so well. Man, now if we do tone it down by just tapping that button once, it'll go into the normal everything. It's a pretty relaxed car. It honestly feels like a nice, luxurious BMW. Fantastic technology. It's pretty easy to use once you get used to it, but it's so comfortable and toned down. This is a fantastic daily. There's literally nothing you're sacrificing to get the full-on M2. It's not backbreaking or anything like that. It just feels like a nice BMW to be in. It's comfortable and quiet, really good visibility. There's a lot of glass in this car to where you really don't have any blind spots. I mean, honestly, this is just a normal daily. And the manual, while it's not the notchiest, most precise manual in the world, it is very forgiving for being a daily driver. If you're gonna use this as your only car, I really wouldn't see an issue with this transmission. It's very easy. The clutch doesn't weigh too much. I mean, just an effortless car. I like the use of materials, really no wind noise or road noise or anything like that. And I love how just one press of the button, we're in everything in Sport Plus mode. If you want to go a little more crazy, toggle up your traction control into something, and now you are just in an M2. It carries the weight so well and just can be a blast to drive.